Hello, good afternoon everyone. We are from Group 2 and today we would like to give a short presentation about analysis of cooperative principle found in teacher and student conversation. But before we start the presentation, let me introduce the member of our group first.
Hello everyone, my name is Musneus Kaniel Hayu, number 200154106.
Hello everyone, my name is Muhammad Lamsaptra, student number 077.
Hello everyone, my name is Ibu Tusinta Negara with student number 078.
Hello everyone, my name is Fauziah Putra Sabila, student number 085.
Hello everyone, my name is Maria Nika Sunata with student ID number 089.
Hello everyone, my name is Ibu Tulana Putra Ramana with student number 096.
And me, Gusti Ewan Sumiari, number 097. Alright, here's the overview of our presentation today. The first one is the introduction, and then research question, and then continue by research method, and then theoretical framework, analysis, result, and the last one is the conclusion. People must comprehend the aim of communication in order to communicate the message or ideas effectively. A good communication, on the other hand, is about more than just understanding the speaker's goal. It also includes input from the speakers. According to Bryce, since a good conversation occurs when the speakers and hearer comprehend each other's statement effectively, speakers attempt to be cooperative in it. In order to engage in effective and successful conversational language usage, they must also follow the cooperative principle. From the introduction, we have also concluded the research question for our analysis. The first one is, what are types of Bryce maxim found in teacher and student conversation? And the second one is, what is the dominant type of Bryce maxim found in teacher and students conversation?
Alright, so the next topic is about the research method. So the method that we used in this study is descriptive qualitative research to get a brief description about cooperative principles in the conversation. So in the study, the data was obtained from the dialogue and also the script from a YouTube video entitled A Conversation Between a Research Professor and a Student by Irina Inlov. So the video was released on October 3rd, 2015. That video involves a conversation between a teacher and a student. The next topic is theoretical framework. So according to Grice, the cooperative principle refers to the practice of providing information during conversation that is necessary for the speaker and also the hearer. Cooperative principle is founded on 4 conversational maxims that people often attend to in order to have effective and also efficient communication. So the maxims are maxims of quantity, quality, relation, and also manner. The first maxim is maxim of quantity. So this maxim, according to Grice's cooperative principle, it suggests that speakers should provide as much information as is necessary for the conversation, but not more or less than that. Speakers should provide the right amount of information without being overly verbose or refusing relevant information.
Well, next is maxim of quality. According to Grice, in maxim of quality, the speaker should not say things that they believe to be false or lack adequate evidence. In other words, speakers should strive to be truthful and provide accurate information in their communication. Next one is maxim of relation. According to Grice's cooperative principle, in maxim of relation, the speaker must be relevant. Make sure that all the information that the speaker provides is relevant to the current exchange. Eliminate irrelevant information. In other words, speakers should provide information that is directly related to the topic at hand and is likely to be useful or informative to the listener. The next one is maxim of manner. According to Grice's cooperative principle, in maxim of manner, the speaker avoid ambiguity and obscurity. It has to be direct and straightforward. It encourages speakers to be organized and to use appropriate language and tone that is suitable for the context of the conversation.
Alright, so now I would like to explain our analysis. So the first maxim that I would like to explain is the maxim of quantity. So in our analysis, we found that there are two maxim of quantity in the video that we found. So as explained before in the theoretical framework, maxim of quantity should provide a right amount of information as needed, not much or less. So here the first conversation, the first data. So Dr. Beach said, have you got a minute? And Jane replied by, oh sure, have I done something? So in here you can see that Dr. Beach asked Jane if he got a minute to talk to him. And he answered by sure. It shows that the answer with the information isn't required. The phenomenon above included the maximum quantity because the answer was given by interlocutor without any further information that is required. Next data. So Dr. Beach said, good, let's just sit down here, then shall we? And Jane replied by the word okay. So here in the conversation, Dr. Beach asked Jane to sit down and Jane answered by saying okay, which shows that she only answered with a right amount of information that is required. The situation above refers to the maxim of quantity because the answer was given by the interlocutor without any further information than it is required.
Alright, the next analysis is maxim of quality. So what is maxim of quality? Based on theoretical framework, according to Greece, in maxim of quality, speakers should not say things that they believe to be false and lack adequate evidence for. So here in the analysis, I'll read the conversation. Jane, sure, have I done something? Dr. Beach, no Jane, not at all. You're doing very well indeed in my class. And I've noticed that you seem particularly interested in my research. Well, you can see in the conversation, Jane asked if she made a mistake by saying, have I done something? Then Dr. Beach gave an explanation that Jane had been doing very well. Dr. Beach responded emphatically by saying, indeed, because he was sure that Jane really did well in class. Through explanation, it can be said that the words of Dr. Beach are included in the maxim of quality, saying what is believed as true information. The next one is maxim of relation. Based on theoretical framework, according to Greece, cooperative principle and maxim of relation, the speaker must be relevant. Make sure that all the information that speaker provides is relevant to big current exchange. Here the analysis, I will read the conversation. Jane, careful of, why, Dr. Beach? He bites sometimes. You can go right into the other cage too. In the other cage though, they are all quite friendly, sometimes too friendly. Until you get the food set out, they'll be all over you looking for. In that conversation, Jane asked Dr. Beach about something that she has to be careful of. Dr. Beach then answered her confusion with a complete explanation so that Jane will fully understand what she asked. In the conversation, the question and answer that they uttered is relevant, so it can be categorized as maxim of relation.
So here are the example of the maxim. Here are the another example of the maxim of relation. Here, Jane said, "Oh yes, I know Larry is. He's getting his master's in zoology, isn't he?" And then Dr. Beach said, "Yes, that's right. And he is graduating in June. So I was wondering if you might be interested in taking over for him, taking his assistantship. I don't know if you want to work or give work, of course." Well, in his conversation both,
Jane asks Dr. Beach about whether or not Larry is done getting his master's in zoology. Dr. Beach answered it with, "Yes, that's right," and continued by giving relevant information about Larry's graduation. Dr. Beach asks James about assistantship, which is relevant to the conversation about Larry's student. This explanation concludes that the conversation above is the maxim of relations because there is a correlation between the question and also the answer. Next. And then the next example is Jane said, "And mealworms," and then Dr. Beach said, "Yes, we have a couple of trays of them in the lab. You will need to tend to them too, and sift out a few dozen every day for the best babies. It is easy, it only takes a few minutes." From the conversation above, James asked Dr. Beach about the mealworms, which refers to the place where it's stored and where it can be found. Dr. Beach then replied with "yes" and followed with the explanation about where the mealworms are stored. His statement is relevant to the Jane's questions, so that's why it can be categorized as a maxim of relations.
So the next one is maxim of manner. According to the Grice principle, in maxim of manner, the speaker must avoid ambiguity or obscurity. So here is the example of the dialogue, Dr. Beach. "And then, I'd like you to be sure to stop by again in the late afternoons or early evenings, sometime between 4 and 7 to check them. Check their water and give them a bit more fruit and their mealworms. Would you be able to do all that?" Jane: "Sure, that sounds fine. My classroom's not so heavy now that I'm in third year. I'm sure I can arrange my class schedule around them. Oh, can I ask how much it pays?" In the conversation above, Dr. Beach asked Jane to check and give the primates more food in late afternoons or early evenings. Dr. Beach asked Jane clearly without any ambiguity. He asked straight to the point and fully explained what is required, as the meaning of maxim of manner, when one tries to be as clear as brief and as orderly as one can in what one says, and where one avoids obscurity and ambiguity. So the next one is the result. The result of the data obtained were dominated by the maxim of relation with 9 dialogues, followed by a maxim of quantity with 2 dialogues, and maxim of quality and maxim of manner with 1 dialogue each of them. And the last one is conclusion. Cooperative principle is a study that examined cooperative discussion and was supported by Grice's 1975 theory. The dialogue there are the use of the cooperative principle used by the 2 speakers. There are also types of Grice's maxim found in that conversation, which are maxim of quantity, maxim of quality, maxim of relation, and maxim of manner. The use of the cooperative politeness function in the dialogue above is in accordance with the principle put forward by Grice, in which the speakers convey the message clearly and without exaggerating. It makes the contents of the message in the dialogue easy for the researcher to understand.
Alright, that's all for our presentation today. I'm sorry if there's any mistakes. Thank you and have a